Hello peeps, your fellow favourite ginger lady is back, and today I'm going to be talking about Doctor Who and the wokeness that has, well, basically ruined it, really. I'm going to probably be absolutely slaughtered in the comments for dissing wokeness, but today this video is addressing the breaking news that The Sun has released about the wokeness in Doctor Who and why it might mean that the show might be going off our screens for a couple of years. So yeah, let's get into it. So the article by The Sun that has been released about Doctor Who probably coming to a devastating end. Doctor Who's wokest ever lead star, Ncuti Gatwa, axed after just 2 series, with show to be paused after ratings nosedive. Now, before we go on, I do just want to admit that I am one of those viewers that has not been a great fan of Doctor Who for the last, 6 years. I say that because I think a lot of Doctor Who fans that have grown up with the show over the span of 20 odd years would agree with me that there has been a serious lack of quality in the storylines over the past few years. Insiders believe a streaming giant which has pumped in millions will not renew its deal. I got to be honest, I kind of saw this coming. Doctor Who star Ncuti Gatwa has been axed by the BBC after 2 series. He's been axed? I thought he left. Anyways, woke storylines have seen ratings plummet. Yeah, no shit. The actor is off after 2 series with no replacement likely for the Time Lord's regeneration on May the 31st. Fans have turned off amid plots about incels and characters such as non-binary aliens. The axe fell on Ncuti, aged 31, after he backed out of announcing the UK's jury scores in last weekend's Eurovision Song Contest, amid controversy among some at Israel's inclusion. I'm not sure. That gets a bit complex for me, so if anyone in the comments just wants to elaborate on that, please feel free. A TV insider said, if the final nail wasn't already in the coffin, it was well and truly hammered in after that. Bosses were incredibly disappointed. Ncuti as the Doctor is one of the corporation's most high-profile faces. Is it? Really? I wouldn't agree. But then again, I didn't grow up watching Ncuti Gatwa and any other shows. I mean, one of the highest profile faces, in my opinion, in Doctor Who has been David Tennant and Matt Smith, but hey, that's just my opinion, I suppose. His withdrawal was incredibly embarrassing. It caps what has been a largely depressing tenure in the TARDIS for Ncuti. Execs are likely to rest the 62-year-old show to consider who might revive its fortunes. Insiders believe Disney Plus. Oh god, Disney Plus. Yeah, that's a point I want to put out. Why the hell did Disney Plus have to take ownership of the show? It was perfectly fine on BBC iPlayer. But hey, we had to make it more complex, didn't we? And anyway, what's so Disney-fied about Doctor Who? Insiders believe Disney Plus, which has pumped in millions, will not renew its deal. It's unlikely we will see who Ncuti regenerates into as the Beeb, will keep options open. And if they do rest the show for years, it makes it virtually impossible to cast someone now. Ncuti, who appeared with Millie Gibson, who is originally known for her role in Coronation Street, if you didn't know that, you're welcome, as the Doctor's companion Ruby Sunday and returning showrunner Russell T Davies were announced with high expectations in 2022. But viewing figures fell to 1.6 million, down to 10 million when David Tennant and Matt Smith were the Time Lord. Told you it was better. One episode saw Ncuti's Doctor admit he was gay. Villain Maestro drag queen Jink X Monsoon, what name is that, was among flops. I mean, to be fair, in comparison to the rest of the episodes, really, I think that was one of the best ones, but again, just my opinion. The BBC said last night, as we have previously stated, the decision on season 3 will be made after season 2 airs, and any other claims are just pure speculation. The deal with Disney Plus was for 26 episodes, and we still have an entire spin-off. And as for the rest, we never comment on the Doctor and future storylines. And there's like a purple section that they've added into this article, which I think is a response to what the BBC have already commented. Doctor Who's demise is a national scandal. It is part of the fabric of British culture, once the envy of the world. The rot set in when the BBC handed the reins back to Russell T Davies, who masterminded the 2005 reboot. Rather than reverse the wokery and go back to basics, he went for broke and wrecked it. I mean, let's be real here, Russell T Davies did also write It's a Sin, which was as wokery as you could possibly get, obviously because it was based on AIDS back in the 80s. Given he wrote that, it didn't really surprise me that he kept up with the wokery aspects of Doctor Who. Yeah, I thought he might draw it back a little bit, but It's kind of been pumped a bit too much in our faces at this point now. What an embarrassment that at one stage this BBC series had just over 1.5 million watching a world famous show in a primetime Saturday slot. Aside from the woke stories, did they think fans wanted to see a Time Lord strutting around in skirts and skimpy vests, dissolving into tears at every turn? Rod McPhee, I like you. Icing the show might be the best way to salvage the memory of its good old days. Perhaps the next custodians will treat it with the respect it deserves. Hopefully. Don't hold your breath though. Whew. So that is basically the whole of the article, including what BBC has said and also what Rod McPhee has responded to them with. Now, my personal opinion, yeah, Doctor Who has been finished for a very long time. The show's ratings and viewings have plummeted pretty much since Jodie Whittaker took to the screen. I personally haven't had any issues with anyone that's been the Doctor so far, whether it be Peter Capaldi, Jodie Whittaker and Ncuti Gatwa. I think they're all great actors. I think it's the storylines that have been the problem, and I want to agree with Rod McPhee that responds to the BBC in that article there that I just read. Woke has completely killed Doctor Who. Now, I, as a millennium that has grown up with Doctor Who pretty much since, you know, when I was old enough to sort of watch it and understand it, so pretty much since like 2006, not long after it was revived, that's when it was like really good at its prime. Anyone that disagrees with me and likes Doctor Who now, that is probably because you're a Gen Z, you're not a millennial. Now, I, as a millennial, I watched it during the times when we had Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant and Matt Smith. Peter Capaldi was okay, but again, the storylines, that's when it started to go a little bit bleak. Still kept its ratings up a little bit, but then Jodie Whittaker, it just completely went downhill from there. And Ncuti Gatwa, I like Ncuti Gatwa. I didn't grow up watching him in other things, because again, I'm not Gen Z. The Gen Zs know him. I'm a millennial. I don't really know Ncuti Gatwa for anything else other than Doctor Who that he's currently in. I like him, but as Rod McPhee states in the article, why does he cry all the time? I've got nothing against with characters being in touch with their emotions, but the Doctor is a character that doesn't have time to cry. He's busy saving planets, companions. He's never been a character that is that in touch with his feelings. There is a difference between being in touch with your feelings and being a complete wimp. And the Doctor is not a wimp. But Ncuti Gatwa, he is really fun. So love to you, Ncuti, no hate here. But in terms of the wokeness, in terms of like having to point out the non-binary, what's this new thing, bi-generation? I'm not homosexual, I'm not homophobic or anything like that. But Doctor Who is a show where it was very diverse anyway. We always had our fair share of Asian characters, our black race characters, our gay, lesbians, whatever you want to call it. The show always had those sort of diversity aspects in it. So why did we have to rub the fans' noses in it even more by what I can only be described as a pile of shit, really? I mean, why? I mean, the first Christmas episode that Ncuti Gatwa stars in, I've never seen such a bad episode from the Doctor Who show in all my life. It was cringe. And what is with this aspect about turning it into a musical? I mean, what was the goblin scene about? To be brutally honest, it seems that Doctor Who, it's changed its target audience, and the target audience I think Doctor Who is now targeted at is for people that are struggling with their gender identities and their sexuality. No hate, you guys do your thing in your personal life and you be who you want to be, but Doctor Who was a show that was loved by many, it was appropriate for many, it was a family show, and I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. You know, if something's not broke, don't fix it. As a millennial that's grown up with it since 2006 in its heyday, what happened? What? I don't get it. Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson, chef's kiss, brilliant. The storylines, pile of shit. Does not do the actors justice at all. Reading the article about the sun there, apparently Doctor Who is going to go off our screens for a couple of years because the wokery has killed it. I was watching the show's suicide in slow motion, but in terms of whether that article is accurate or not, I can't say for certain if it's true that the show is going to go off our screens for a bit, and I'm not actually sure how true it is that Ncuti Gatwa has been axed. I'm a bit confused about that point, but I like Ncuti Gatwa. What I don't like is the storylines. Now, whether or not the show is going to to turn around its wokery from this point onwards? We don't know. Do I hope they change it? Yes, I do. I just want the storylines to go back to how they were. Now, for you Doctor Who lovers, maybe you can let me know what you think of this. In my opinion, I think it's best that the producers put this show to bed for a little bit before they can continue it, because it seems to me like whether or not this is actually the reality of the show or not, to me it feels that the people behind the show of creating it are brainwashed with a lot of non-binary and gender identity stuff, which is actually going on in today's world at the moment. Now, I know it's important to keep content relevant to what's going on in our current day modern society, like, yeah, but I don't agree with trying to insert it into a show like this that has been running for over 60 odd years, because that show is going to hold viewers of all different generations. I don't agree with shoving things like that into people's faces. Like, if people like that sort of stuff, then just go and watch like the shows that fit that. I don't think Doctor Who fits it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about it, folks, really. I just wanted to sort of put this out there, see what you guys think. I'm probably going to get absolutely slaughtered for what I said in this video, but I knew before making this video that this is a highly controversial topic, and I really wanted to know what you guys might respond with. If you want to check out more of my content, you can see my viewing recommendation at the side here. If you want to subscribe, down here. And yeah, I'll see you in the next upload, folks. Bye!